Why are gas prices so high? Across the world, gas prices are at record levels. There are a number of factors that have led to the unprecedented price rises in 2022. Many of these are interlinked, and we'll be looking at these within this video. The first cause for the price of gas rising is demand. Following the COVID pandemic and the lifting of lockdown restrictions, people, businesses and governments around the world sought to make up for lost time, leading to the production of goods and use of services drastically increasing. Basic economic theory highlights that if demand increases faster than supply, prices rise. Increasing production capabilities to supply the world with more gas is not something that can be done overnight. Additionally, there needs to be a willingness from gas producers to increase the supplies. However, countries like Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates, and the companies that sell it, had their consumers in a bind and could steadily increase prices. To highlight this point, in October 2022 a global coalition of oil-producing nations, OPEC+, announced that not only would they not increase supplies available to the world market, they would in fact be cutting oil output in November. Another reason that impacted the price of gas was Russia's invasion and war with Ukraine. Russia is the third largest petroleum producer worldwide. Disruptions caused by the war had a huge knock-on effect on the supply of petroleum, which sent gas prices higher. Even though countries like the United States import relatively low levels of petroleum from Russia, about 8%, many other countries, such as those in Europe, are heavily reliant on Russian exports, leading prices to skyrocket. And it wasn't just petroleum supplies that were affected. Russia is also the second largest producer of natural gas, of which it exports around the world. Understandably, many governments around the world decided they could no longer be reliant on Russian gas supplies and had to look for alternative producers. In addition to this, countries like Germany, who heavily depend on Russian gas through the Nord Stream pipelines, have seen supplies halted. Again, this put pressure on the global supply of gas, leading to multiple price hikes. One of the countries where gas prices have soared is the United States. But aren't they the world's largest producer of oil and processed petroleum products? Yes, they certainly are. That said, it exports vast quantities of oil to Latin America and Europe and also buys a lot of oil from other countries. The US is actually the second largest importer in the world, following China. Many of the refineries in the US are built to process different types of oil than that actually produced in the country, so we're unable to use their own supplies to shield domestic consumers from price rises. Even if they reconfigured oil refineries across the country, which would be extremely difficult and expensive to do, the United States still uses much more oil than it produces. The final cause for steep rise in gas prices in 2022 is business. There is no universal price for gas around the world. The way gas prices are set around the world differ from country to country. Higher prices means increased profits, and as gas is a product that is essential in everyday life, buyers had no alternative sources or vendors to turn to. Producers of gas have taken advantage of this situation, and in turn have made enormous profits. For example, the company Shell reported profits of £9.4 billion this year between April and June, while another company BP made £6.9 billion. This is more than triple the amount made in the same period in 2021. So as you can see, there are many factors that have contributed to the rise of gas prices in 2022. There are increased calls to find alternative and sustainable sources of gas to avoid the issues like this in the future. However, this cannot happen overnight, and for the time being, gas prices are expected to continue to rise. Thanks for watching. If you found this video useful, please like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps other folks find our content. Additionally, feel free to comment below with any of your questions that you'd like us to tackle in future videos. See you again soon for another one of your questions answered.